My second question is an aside question is, what books are you reading that get you so informed? Because Mike Maloney gives all these incredible anecdotes about history and all these quotes about history and money and gold and silver. And if Mike Maloney could give me a list of books to read to become informed as just as he is, I will read those because I want to be just as smart as Mike Maloney.
Okay, so I'm answering some questions as far as what books do I read. And I'm here at my house, so this is my home library. There's another library at my office at goldsilver.com. And that library, though, there's probably a shelf or two that are gone from my house, and they go to my office, and then they get the binding sliced off, and they get run through a duplexing scanner that scans both sides of the page at the same time. And then we do optical character recognition software to turn it into text, and then my assistant emails it to me as a PDF, and I read it with my computer because I'm dyslexic and I read very slowly. So this is the way that I can keep up with things. But some of the books that I've read, you asked about that. These books here, I read just to write the section on the Great Depression in my book, which is maybe, 10 pages? So this is what I read to write 10 pages of my book. Now, there's some authors that I highly recommend, some that I don't. One of the things I wanted to do in my book was to get differences of opinion in different schools of economics. Milton Friedman is head of the Chicago School, also known as monetarists. They believe in in just meddling with the economy enough to achieve stable prices. Ben Bernanke, this is Ben Bernanke's Essays on the Great Depression. By the way, this I highly recommend, Milton Friedman's Monetary History of the United States, 1867 to 1960. And it's got some amazing charts in it. About a third of it is on the Great Depression, but a couple of the charts are these handmade charts done back in the 60s before they could do this on computers. And they've got money supply data, velocity of money, this is another sample, wholesale price index, income, real income. And as you can see, these books are very well read, and all these red tabs go to pages with charts and stuff. So I recommend that one. He's the Chicago School. Murray Rothbard, the Dean of Economics at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, wrote, I believe, 28 books. And America's Great Depression, he tends to... he starts in the early actually at World War I, and shows the ramp up of the currency supply and the deficit spending, and then the special treatment that some banks got. And Paul Warburg, the architect of the Federal Reserve, his bank got a special deal with something called bankers' acceptances, a special type of loan that was created. Where they were able to create private loans through this bank that were at a discount to the Fed funds rate. So they got money very inexpensively, and that was some of the currency that was created that went into the stock market, that caused the bubble, that caused the stock market to crash finally. But that was what caused the Roaring '20s bubble. And as you can see, once again, it's been very well read, and I indexed it with tabs and everything and highlighted, and so this I relied a lot of this, but he starts with the bubble creation that caused the Great Depression, and once the Great Depression starts, he's done. He's made his case. Milton Friedman studies the whole thing. Ben Bernanke, being a Keynesian, he decides to start his book right after the stock market crashes. He ignores the bubble, so he doesn't even want to see the bubble. And you can see that I've read this one quite well too. Now, if you ever get a chance to read some Ben Bernanke, don't. He is an awful author. He says, let me see if I can find this quote here real quick, but I can probably just quote it. Oh, here it is. Nope, that isn't it. I can just quote it. He says, under the gold standard, there appears to have been multiple equilibrium values of the money supply. So under the gold standard, there appear to be multiple equilibrium values of the money supply. And you've got to go, what? And scratch your head and think about this for quite a while. And so he gives you a headache. But it's my job to read this stuff, figure it out, and then explain it simply to everybody else. So again, this is what I read to write my 10 pages or 20 pages on the Great Depression in my book. And I do recommend Murray Rothbard. All of his books are great. I haven't read those over there. Secrets of the Temple is about the Federal Reserve. A History of Money by Glenn Davies. This book is very, very thorough if you want a monetary history. Now, on the website that's dedicated to this book online, there's a chronology, so you can go over the history of money in chronological order. This book is a pain in the ass because it's not written in chronological order. He tends to group things together, like all the stuff that was happening in England is grouped together, and it makes it difficult to use as a reference book and to find things, except I found that it was one of the most thorough books at the time. None dare call it conspiracy, ruled by secrecy. These are all about the Federal Reserve. Buckminster Fuller, Critical Path, that's that's different stuff. It has nothing to do with When Genius Failed. This is long-term capital management. The Coming Economic Collapse is about oil. I read a lot of books like Big Fortunes in Gold and Silver, which it's okay. Dave Morgan's book, Get the Skinny on Silver, is a good book. Here's some more Murray Rothbard, The Case Against the Fed, and What Has the Government Done to Our Money? Excellent little tiny books, worth a read. The Silver Bonanza, hard to find. Excellent data and analysis. Dave Morgan actually gave me these. Dave Morgan from silver-investor.com. Gold, Crash Proof. More Milton Friedman, Capitalism and Freedom. Here is Ludwig von Mises' Opus Max, whatever. It's his masterpiece. Human Action. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but that, if you want to understand Austrian economics, that is it. And, you know, after looking at these different schools of economics, a 5-year-old will go, oh, they're right. The Austrians. All the other ones try and make economics so complex that nobody can really understand it, and it's really not that complex. And then, let me see, down here we've got, this has nothing to do with precious metals or monetary history, but I highly recommend The Traveler's Gift. This is just a fun, inspirational, beautiful little book. Highly recommended. History of Money and Banking in the United States, that's a very tough read. Here are the gold and silver yearbooks. So you want to get...